All right, you recording. Let me stop before you be blackmailing people. You be holding footage for years talking about
And
I forgot I had this. Yes, the fuck no you didn't. Nigga, you labeled it in a folder as fucking dirt on JO. You got a whole folder.
I'm gonna come back to you in the fucking nursing home in 40 years. Like, you remember this?
40.
It's gonna be quicker than that.
Nah, I feel like my kids are gonna take care of me. They ain't gonna put me in a nursing home. I feel like the new 80, I'm gonna just be turning 60. Like the way we moving, like I'm looking at the 30-year olds on TV and shit. And like back in the day, man, Charles Brunson was only 28 running around here. Like that nigga looked like an old ass man back then.
I ain't gonna lie, Charles Bronson did look old as shit. Chuck Norris, all them niggas looked way older than they was. It's weird.
Rest in peace, Chuck Norrie.
All them niggas looked way older than they was. Danny
They looked
Glover
way older than and
like
I'm like, hold on. At the time, I'm like, when I started realizing this, I was like 32. So I'm like, I didn't. These niggas don't look like 32 back in the day. Like when you look at like Ron Simmons,
Ron
when
Sim.
he
Oh boy,
when he when he graduated when he graduated high school, that nigga looked like he
Rankin.
was on his second divorce. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like he was going through some things with that
Yo,
afro and that fucking mustache. My nigga,
yeah.
like they look way different than we do now. Like I feel like we're gonna be a lot more agile when we get older. So when I'm 80, I feel like I'm just be turning 60. Like I'm gonna have that.
You know what's funny? Because like, oh, listen, let's bring the show in. First of all, welcome back to the Just Advice
No Advice
podcast.
podcast.
You know what it is. It's your host Alan AB, and you already know who he is. That's your boy Jo.
Jo, I'm
So
what's
we're
going on,
here.
everybody? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, man. Everything's cool. It's funny though. You right though. Like as I'm getting older, I am noticing these things. I went to a concert recently, and it just made me realize like the whole age dynamic thing. Like I saw a Flowetry recently, and it's funny because like watching Flowetry perform, I always just felt like I was excited first of all because like I haven't seen Flowetry in like 20 years. Like the fact that they're back together again is amazing to me, right? So like watching them perform, I was just amazed because they were like where's all the where's everybody born before the 60s in the building? And there was a large crowd. And then there was like if you was born before the 70s. And then they finally got to my era, the 80s, 90s, and 30, whatever. And the funny thing is, I was just like, damn, I didn't realize that I was in that group of citizens that's like going to the R&B shows. Like, I don't like hip hop concerts anymore. I like R&B shows. Like I like going to sit down and watch like, you know, R&B and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here watching the show and I was cracking up because I was like, damn, I haven't felt this young in such a long time. Because they were just like, y'all ready to get down for a minute? Y'all ready to dance? Get out your seats. I was like, all right, I'm about to see some ass shaking. And then they brought out the "You Make Me Happy."
Mm-hmm. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we got a family. Oh, this is the vibes. I forgot. I'm young in certain rooms. I gotta just sometimes you never know, man. Age it's a funny thing. So
That's one of those, but for real, really and truly though, that's one of those songs that you hear at every barbecue. If you don't hear that song play at a barbecue,
yeah, I'm a
did
food.
you even go?
Don't eat there. That food tastes.
Eh,
But yeah, honestly, as we bring that up, I was just thinking about all the tours because I came back home and I seen like as soon as I got home, I was like, oh shit. Like the next morning I woke up to like Chris Brown and Usher.
it's still
Tick,
your bitch tour. It's still your bitch tour, huh?
basically.
Oh,
So like the
it's
funny
still
thing,
your.
like it's like a million tours going on right now. Like Jay-Z's about to tour this summer. There's Cardi B been going on a crazy tour. I know, like even this
They
summer, I
not
know
letting Kanye. They not letting Kanye tour. They not.
Kanye's still touring. Sponsors are pulling back, but Kanye's still getting them stadiums packed. So I don't know. Kanye's still touring, and it's just like I don't know what's going on. I know, is there some conspiracy going on? Like, is there like some kind of world disaster event going on that they trying to stack up money? Like, are the elites trying to gather the funds before some shit goes down? Is what I want
Now you better sway
to
away from that part of the conversation if
know.
you
She
want
just
our platform to stay alive. Because soon as we start talking about the elites, they tend to delete our internet. So
staying out the way this week, JL. Better keep it
we
safe.
stay. No,
Well, like,
no, but for real though, it's like whenever there's like world war, like or brewing in the government, it seems like that's when the industry itself is in the most turmoil. Like there's things happening left and right to keep us
there's
occupied, to,
something
to
to
keep
that because, like, even like with Jay-Z dropping the Black album on 9/11, like it's always something with Jay-Z and like war. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that alone.
I
Staying out
think
the
they try to distract us. They look for ways to what I mean. They find a little ways to make sure
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I hearing them horns that were from Jay-Z. Dun, 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 dun.
I've been hearing
Thank you.
people been hitting me up like, I heard the tickets, like, you got to drop on tickets to Jay-Z show. I'm like, they're still on sale. They're not expensive. You could buy them. I'm not buying them. I don't have that budget for the Jay-Z tickets. And
What
tickets is
budget? If I'm
you can
not invited, I'm not going. Hove gotta call me himself and be like, yo, bomb, you pulling up today? Oh shit, that's today? My bad, yo. I'm on the way.
out of here.
You know what I'm saying? What I look like? Spending
Yo.
that type of bag to see a concert I already seen. I seen this nigga
That's
perform. Yo, shout out to Jay-Z though. He did shout me out one time. I was at Madison Square Garden. Shout out to my boy, rest in peace, DJ Shot Black. He got us into one of his shows at Madison Square Garden. Jay-Z. And you know how at the end of his show he does the shout outs like, yo, I see you over there with the red shirt. I see you over there with the white hat. That's a something he do like at the end of all his shows. He always does that. And one year he shouted me out. He looked up in the stands and was like, "Yo, I see you there holding the T-shirt." I looked around to see if anybody else was holding up a T-shirt. Like, yeah, that was me. Word. But then what's so crazy is, like it's on like the little screens, the little CUNY screens or whatever from the thing. So people
yeah,
saw it too. They,
that's
like
dope.
they was panning, and then people who were watching the show live, or like because they was showing it on like a BCAT type channel. They seen it, and people was telling me, yo, they seen the shout out. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Jay, you was a star, man. This nigga was getting put on early. I ain't gonna lie, my experience meeting Jay-Z wasn't as adventurous. It was pretty lackluster, actually. Like, have you ever had an embarrassing moment meeting a celebrity?
Plenty.
Oh, this was mine. 4040 Club. I remember it was about 2000 something. This nigga had some type of event at the Garden, and he had an after party at 4040 Club. And I mean, I can't lie. At the time, I was just lucky to be in the club. I didn't have all the connections and all that, but it was different in the 2000s. The early 2010s was a different time. I remember going to 4040 Club with my friend, I think Gene Alert. One of these people were my friends, Jason and Jonathan Sykes, the twins. I think back in the day, they used to work with a group that was like promoters. And I remember they got me in the 4040 for one of Jay-Z's after parties. So I'm not gonna lie, I walk in there and I've been in 4040 before, but not for like one of Jay-Z's parties. So it's like I kid you not, this nigga Warren Buffett is in the section dolo. Like, kind of off-putting because I'm like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, this don't even seem like your vibe. But nigga, Warren Buffett is dead ass in the club at night, and I'm kind of fucked up about it. Cause I'm like, you wouldn't expect to see Warren Buffett chilling in a nightclub. I don't know. My ass is thinking he may be at home watching The Price is Right or some shit around these times. Like, it's like this nigga's old. He's in a suit, but the nigga
I want to. I want to let you know, business. I don't want to mean to cut you off, but business never sleeps, yo. These guys would like to, even if it's something as minimal as a yes or a no to moving a project forward. They sometimes want to meet you in your own setting, just
Mhm.
to see, just to feel that energy, just to
Yeah,
say, all
you
right,
right.
I'm putting money into this. I'm putting money into this. I just want to see what he's like. I
I ain't
don't
gonna
mean to cut you off.
No, no, that was actually a great input. I didn't think of it that way. I just, in my young mind, I went behind the ears at the time. I'm really not in the industry that much, so it's just like it's all just kind of like new to me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really didn't understand it. However, I went upstairs into the back rooms. If anybody remembers the 4040 Club, how they got the back rooms with all the pool tables and all that stuff,
And the
and
red
they
chair, little chairs. Yeah.
had the big back room back there. I remember distinctly being in the room before. I think it was like the Def Jam 25th anniversary or something like that. Around that time, and I never forget Jay-Z was coming, and we all got a heads up that Jay-Z just came in the club. He's here, like Jay-Z. Everyone kind of murmuring that he's in the room. He's coming. So I know I'm in the room or in the section that he's gonna be in. So I'm just like, don't do anything goofy. Just stay out the way. That's my focus right now. Just what I'm saying. Just act like you belong here because I didn't imposter syndrome. Crazy. So I'm in the room and I never forget this nigga Jay-Z beelines and out the hallway into the room that we in. So the nigga walks in, and this is around the time where it was like that. Ciroc boys in the building tonight. How everybody was like, doing the whole shit.
I was just talking about the horns. I said, you everybody want to hear them horns.
So the nigga walks in the section where we at, right? He walks in the room and he looks me dead in my face, and I didn't even know what to do. I swear, like he's like right here. So I just looked at the nigga like,
Salute, salute. He probably remember that shit too. Hey, then this weirdo fat nigga standing in the corner. What the fuck was that about? I ain't in the
yo,
army.
yo,
I ain't
bro,
in the navy.
like, what the fuck am I doing? Saluting this nigga? Ain't no fucking. What am I doing here?
General.
He looked at me like this straight up and kept walking. He looked at me like,
And kept walking. That's crazy.
I
That's
sat there and
crazy.
thought about it for years. Like, the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I'm a Nas fan. I had no business being there. It just didn't feel right.
It just didn't feel right. You ever reached out? You ever reached your hand out to a celebrity for a dap and they left you hanging?
Oh man, if it did happen, I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't believe so.
You kind of remember this. This is
That
like that.
moment felt like
That would
the moment
make you
hit me out of
hate.
the
That
punch
would
was like,
make you hate a celebrity. Like that would make you be like, "Oh word, nigga." Like, niggas would be listening to his song. You'd be like, "Man, fuck that nigga, cuz." Be
yeah.
sitting over there like the nigga from Belly.
That nigga fucking anyway. Fucking classic.
It's a fucking classic. You like fuck that nigga, yo.
You can't ignore and shit. Oh man, nah, but for real, yeah, I don't think people got the money for these tours like people really think. I don't know where these tours. I don't know where they think these people getting money from. We in a horrible recession right now, so nigga, I've been in the crib. I don't know if you've been in the crib like me, but I've been here watching TV. I need some recommendations. I don't know if you got anything you've been watching lately. What you been on?
Who, me? I've been watching a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? Side notes. I've been watching Invincible. I've been watching The
Invincible's
Boys is
good.
back
I
on.
got into
Yeah,
Invincible on Amazon. That is
yeah, yeah.
pretty good.
It's good. It's good. And it gets better. It gets real better. And that's a lore if you into the comics, because I went to Comic-Con last year. I took a
Mhm.
picture in the Invincible booth and I got to talk to some of the writers.
Oh
And
no.
it was fucking amazing. They put me on to some shit. So, I don't want to put no spoilers out there for people, but definitely it's going in a crazy direction. They already got approved for the next season. So
Oh
they
nice.
already drafting it up. And we not even out the end of this season yet. But I was watching Invincible. I've been watching The Boys, which is the the home universe to Gen V. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's another good series. The Boys is a good series. I hate the way Butcher talks though. He's like
Mm,
British or some shit, but I don't fucking know. He's like a country ass Brit. It just
mm.
annoys the fuck out of me. And and one other one, which is an honorable mention before I get into my main show that I've been watching is Legacy. The Legend of Monarch. It's
Facts.
it is that's the universe for the Godzilla and King Kong and like Skull Island and all of that stuff. They
Yeah.
tying the movies together on that TV show. It's fucking amazing. They without giving away spoilers, it's like they they break it down like because you sometimes wonder where the fuck does Godzilla go? What does he do in
Dude,
between? In
yeah.
between him
It's-
popping up and just destroying the city, and come to find out he doesn't be doing that. Like they find the actual reasoning behind why they come out and where they go, who controls the land. Let's say, yeah, they Vladimir Putin. Uh,
yeah. My
they
bad. Got
uh they basically are showing what goes like where like what Godzilla does in between the times that he's not being seen, shit like that. It's like it really puts that whole universe into perspective. Like who controls the land, who controls the water, who controls the air,
what's the name of that?
and
What's the name of that again?
um uh the Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Yes.
Where does
It's
that
in
come on?
its second season. It comes on shit, I don't know. I watch on my TV illegally.
I'll figure it out. I'll find it.
it,
Right.
it's one of those like
You got my fire stick popping, man. Pause. That's
it,
Ooh. There you go. You know.
yeah, hold on. I can't.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh my goodness gracious. That was one of the ones. All right.
Mhm.
What was we saying? It was the so yeah, that was Legacy of Monsters. That's one of my top. So that's like my main go-to shows that are like actively on right now, and they have multiple seasons as to what you can go in and watch and catch up. Now, my main show I've been watching right now that got me in a chokehold, and it's about to premiere.
Start over. My shit was glitching. Actually, you know what? You can keep going. My bad.
The main show that I've been watching right now that has me in a chokehold is from on MMG. Yes,
Uh,
MGM. Oh
oh,
my gosh,
okay. What's this?
Harold Pernu. That's my guy from he was in the wheelchair on what was this shit on HBO?
Oh, Oz. Oz.
He was in the
Yeah.
wheelchair on Oz. He
He was
was
on
in the
what?
Matrix. He
Yeah.
I think his name is Harold Pernu. He was in mad stuff. He was Pope on Sons of Anarchy. My man be having some big roles, and I when I first started watching this show, um, the very first episode captivated me, and it leaves you with questions. It's one of those shows that it leaves you with a new question at the end of every fucking episode, to the point where you're almost begging for answers at this point. You're only watching the show to figure out what the fuck is going on. And then once you see at the top is from executive producers of Lost, it can go any way. If you know Lost, then this show could go in any direction. I'm fully invested, waiting on. It's like it's about a town that no one can leave, and at night monsters come out, and you have to lock your doors, and you have to put a talisman on your door
That
to.
reminds me of so there's a show Eureka where no one could leave. Just cut back to the then. Go ahead though. Eureka is a really good show. It's like no one could leave. Well, I don't think you can leave the town, but keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like once you get there, you can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And people, and you appear there. It's a tree that falls in the road while you're driving, and it's like once you see that tree, you're already stuck in the fucking town. Whether you decide you want to go back, or whether you decide you want to go around it, whether you decide you want to move the tree out the way, no matter what you do, once you see that tree in the road, you're fucked. It's one of those shows. I
Mm.
swear. I swear. And when I say I'm fully invested and I have gotten no answers, and I've been waiting for answers. And then they give you subtle clues. And then, like the end of the last season, they hit us with a cliffhanger to like really to the point where it's like, yo. And then it came out a whole year ago. That cliffhanger came out a whole year ago. I've been hanging on to this show's coattails for a whole year and
Yeah.
4 months,
Ooh,
waiting for this shit
I
to
hate
come out.
watching shows while they're new for this reason because it's like the anxiety of waiting for Game of Thrones and all these shows. To like, oh my gosh, House of Dragons, everything is like. I hate waiting for these shows. HBO is the worst, but MGM Plus, I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance.
I'm telling you, it's one of those shows where it's like, yo, man, oh man. But at the end of the show, if you can, just watch a clip of the first episode with me, and then, like see if it's bullshit or not.
We might
Because when
do
I
a
tell
little.
you,
We might have to do a little review segment where we watch it like this and just comment on it like a director's cut for the people. Like,
mm,
but
no, it's one of those. It's definitely one of those. Because if you want to get people, the urban cloth involved into shows like this, we got to put it into layman's terms for them. Because they're gonna be like, man, just shoot the fucking monsters, yo. If I have my Glock on me, you know what I'm saying? It's just, but it's like, it's. I
we
wish it
should,
was that. I wish it was
I
that
think
simple.
we should probably make this a segment like for the layman terms, basically, like basically breaking down movies for people in layman's terms, you know. But
Hmm.
yeah, well, I mean, I haven't really been able to catch up with new stuff because it's been hard to really keep up with. Like editing our podcast is hard, right? Keeping up with other clients' edits is even harder. It's like I don't really get a chance to enjoy a TV the same way anymore because I'm kind of burnt out when it comes to like my screen time. However, I have been in a nostalgic mood lately. I've been going backwards to watch a lot of classics, and one of the movies I'm about to watch recently was Casino. I really do want to,
Ooh,
yeah. So,
ooh. Where
um,
the fuck do you get off talking about me behind the other going up other people and talking about me behind my back, huh? Huh?
yeah, man.
Yo, yo,
Sam
that
Rusty,
joke.
man. Rusty was a listen, Ace, but is his name. So listen, if anyone's not familiar, this 1995 classic was directed by
Classic.
Martin Scorsese. Basically, this movie
Worked with
was
him
featuring
before.
a really star cast. Really, you got Robert De Niro playing the lead character, which is Sam Rothstein, aka Ace. You also have basically you got basically a mob boss who was sent down to Vegas to run a casino for the mob. Now, while Ace is building up money, for those who haven't seen this movie, I'm gonna just give a quick synopsis. Basically, he's basically smuggling money back to his bosses, and while he's doing that, they send enforcer friend Nikki Santoro, basically Joe Pesci, down there to basically hold it down and protect them. Now, while he's doing this, he's also basically getting very close to the relationship between Sam Rothstein and his love interest in the movie Ginger, Sharon Stone. It basically spirals into betrayal and addiction and paranoia. It's a very, very, very. Oh, why is my shit flinching? It's a very intriguing story. I definitely think if you like any of those old school classic mobster movies that a lot of the urban culture does, like the Glorify, this is one of the ones. You could probably get a few lessons from it. So I figured I'd break it down into a few lessons for the black folks in the room. Basically
I
one of the
never looked at cornfields the same.
man, listen, well, one of the things you can learn, right? There's about five things you can learn from Watch Casino, right? Now, for the black people in the room, I'm talking to y'all. Okay. I think the first lesson you could learn from watching Casino is basically putting your discipline over emotion. Ace was a successful businessman because why? He was calculated, he was consistent, right? He was detail orientated. But
And
you want to see,
he didn't want to be in the limelight in the
yeah, and
front of everyone.
it was a very different from the energy that Nikki brought, where Nikki lost everything because he was what? Sorry. Why is it
Very
glitching?
impulsive. I don't know.
Oh,
It doesn't see. I don't see it on my end.
yeah. But Nikki lost everything because why? He was impulsive, he was emotional, he was reckless, right? And basically, you could build something solid, but if you have any emotional energy around it, it can destroy it faster than you built it. Having that energy come out to Vegas destroyed the empire from the beginning. Actually, it was like the beginning of the end. We all saw the transition from the moment he got there, right? The next lesson I would say black people can learn from this is access is power, but it's also a test, right? Ace got access. He was able to get money, right? He was able to get influence. He was able to get elite rooms. He was able to smooth the politicians and all the dignitaries that came into the city. And he also showed how expensive it was. If you saw, the luxuries that he had to pretty much rub those elbows with, it wasn't such an easy road as people might make it seem. But
Mhm.
that access came with a lot of surveillance, a lot of pressure, and a lot of expectations. So now when you're in these powerful spaces, it's not just an opportunity, it's a big test of discipline and awareness because now these people are waiting for the first mistake that you make, and it's like you're done. His whole entire casino license kaputs. Why? One or two bad things happening, his whole entire legacy went to waste. It's like Sam Rothstein's name went down in the rubble because why? You're in a powerful space and there's a lot of eyes on you. So awareness is key. Basically, another lesson from it: don't let relationships derail your vision. Oh my gosh, I gotta say this because there's a lot of men and women in the room that probably need to hear this. Do not let relationships derail your vision. Ace had a bright future, but his biggest blind spot wasn't his business. It was Ginger. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? It was Ginger. He ignored the red flags. Baby was a cokehead. Baby had the pimp on a leash. Baby had, oh man, there was so many red flags this nigga just
It,
didn't care about.
they didn't have Kevin Samuels then to steer them in the right direction.
I guess not. But look, he tried to, control her instead of just finding somebody that was in alignment with his lifestyle. He let the emotions interfere with his decisions. No matter how focused you are, the wrong relationship can drain your energy, it can distort your judgment, and it can cost you everything. So it's important to make sure that you don't let your relationships take you off track. Don't let it make you lose focus of the bigger picture. I mean, there was so many bitches in the world Sam Rothstein could have fucked with. You want to chase after this junkie bitch Ginger? Nigga, what a waste. What a waste. Number 4, know when you're being used. Listen, I'm a businessman. I'm gonna tell you right now. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make in business is being too emotional. When they're like, "Oh, well, what do I get out of it? What do I get out of it? What do I get out of it? What do I get out of it?" Everybody wants to be a charity case. What do I? Well, I don't get this. Well, I don't get that. Look, when you're in business, one of the most sincere businesses are the people who realize it's a two-way street. I'm losing something, you're losing something. We're both sacrificing for something that we see as a gain in value, right? But unfortunately, some people don't know when they're being manipulated. Like us exchanging value is one thing. You Undermining me is a whole different story because you know the value, right? So now there's a lot of characters in there that use each other. They played around like Joe Pesci. He pretty much played on his relationship with Sharon Stone's character in the movie. And not everyone around you is for you. Some are there for you, but some are just there for what you represent. And it's important for you to know the difference. If you don't pay attention to who's around you and why they're around you, you are in for a long road, especially if you're someone who's trying to make a lot of money really fast. The last lesson I'm gonna throw in here before I end this is structure beats hustle, right? Ace had systems, right? Processes. He had control. Nikki, he had hustle, intimidation, and chaos. But hustle is always going to get you in the door. Structure keeps you there, right? At the end of the day, Nikki can get into a lot of doors, but he also had to move fast because he was never welcome anywhere. His name rang bells so loud. His chaos always followed him. It was hard for him to stay anywhere and make money long enough to get his hustles off. But if you have a good hustle, and you have a good process and you have control over yourself, look, you could really drain the monkey for a long time. Ace would have been out there eating forever if Nikki didn't come out there. So those are 5 lessons that you can learn from watching the movie Casino. I definitely thought it was a really great movie. It was a lot of fun watching it again. And you know what's funny? As we close this segment out, we live in New York City, so this is an interesting time. Shout out to the New York Mets. I know you guys know about the bid that they just had out here in New York, where they have a casino that's coming. Basically, the New York Mets owner, which was really smart, by the way, because they were like basically like not allowing the Mets to. They weren't really okay with a casino coming to Queens. However, the dude who bought the Mets, who bought them he bought them overvalued. By the way, I don't know if anyone's aware of this. The dude who bought the Mets recently bought them way overvalued, but he bought them not because of the team, because they were tanking when he bought them. They really weren't worth the money that he spent on the Mets. He really bought them because of the land over there, because that's where they plan on building. Hold on, why is it glitching? Why is it glitching? There we go. He didn't buy it for the team because they were tanking at the time. He really bought it because of the land, because they're basically now having that expansion that they just approved in New York City's new casino coming to the City Field area where the Mets currently play. Now, I can't front. Watching Casino was a dope movie for one of the reasons that I'm going to say now, living in New York City. I remember looking at this movie and many like it, like Goodfellas, and just thinking about how, like even Godfather, how they touched on how Atlantic City was kind of like built out, right? It always amazed me how organized crime was kind of officiated through this casino industry, where they were able to kind of make themselves more like, hey, Ness, what was the name of that word you said the other day?
All the major cities.
It kind of like the casino industry kind of legitimized um, the organized crime in America,
And
right?
yeah, I'm about to say in every major city because all of the buildings in Miami is cocaine buildings. All of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
fucking
it's a deep road. I mean, down to the Teamster unions, like the trucks and everything going coast to coast around the country. Like it's a lot. It's a very deep web. We learned it in The Wire. There's a lot of shows that touch on it here and there, right? I can't wait to see the movies that come out in 20 years from now, talking about this grand expansion of casinos in New York, because there's like $1 billion investments going on right now with this casino bid in Manhattan. So I can only imagine how the current day mob is running things, because they never left. They just kind of go into hiding and they keep operating. So I can't wait to see what the 2040 casinos look like, or what the movie about. Because there's going to be a backstory. There's so much money going on around this $1 billion investment. Not all of it is clean. We're going to see movies about this in 20 years, maybe 10. It happens faster now, maybe 5.
I I feel like it's a we're in an era where most of the money has to be clean in order to be put
What you think?
across the.
You think that's true? How about this? Desiree Perez, the VP of Rock Nation or whatever. She was like
Mhm.
an ex drug affiliate. Like I think she used to work with the cartels. You think
But
this is
man, all of this stuff is like you're talking about in early 2000, before 2005, probably. I mean, like we in a different age now, where it's like the money is coming from somewhere, uh, 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 uncouth, I'm sure the FBI will be tapping on doorsteps any day
Listen,
now. Like it's not even they don't play like that with the money.
certain
They need it
certain
all.
certain industries legitimize organized crime. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hmm.
That was a great segment. I actually enjoyed breaking that one down with you, man. That was really cool. Listen, man. Other than that, I think the reason why we can't really get to you know the movies and all that, and while we're looking at what we can stream at home, is because honestly, it's really hard to move around these days. The war itself has made everything so freaking expensive. So at this time, you're kind of stuck with just staying at home. But while we're talking about the war, there seems to be another war brewing here as we speak in hip
Hmm.
hop.
Yeah,
The
the industry is definitely at war.
industry is on fire right now, boy. I ain't.
Oh.
Ooh, there's a lot going. It's so much because it's so hard to keep y'all entertained. I'm not gonna lie. To keep up with the moving like stories is just so much. I can't. So we just did a whole breakdown for you guys. Uh, Me and Jo sat down with this for a little bit, and we figured, if rappers were countries, where would they stand in a modern day World War III? Like what? I think I'd ask ChatGPT a few questions. Like, you know what? If rappers were countries right now, who would they be in the current landscape of the war that's currently taking place? ChatGPT came up with some pretty interesting answers, and I just thought we would go over some of them with you. So we got Lemuel Plummer versus Natalie Nunn. I'm pretty sure you can see which countries we got here, right, JL? Are you able to see it on your end?
Mhm. Yeah, I got it.
All right, so you see which country is Natalie Nunn, of course. What, of course, USA. I think that's a fit for Natalie. Would you say? I mean, they said that she's
Uh,
USA. Huh?
well, yeah, Natalie enough for USA, but Lamel for Switzerland. You know, Switzerland is usually neutral, but
Well, he said,
I feel like he's a little bit messy. Like he should be like North Korea or something.
see, I see why you say that, but I think this is actually fitting. You know why? I think that Switzerland is perfect for Lemmy because have you seen that new show, Scotty with the Baby?
Uh, I seen clips.
Well, I've watched the show. Lemuel, no disrespect to him, but he looks like they don't respect him. Like I've watched the way that they handle him, and it just seems like they just be sidestepping this nigga. Like, wait, excuse me, what you said, bitch? Like he's not the owner of the network. Like they really be just disrespecting his shit. So I mean, they said Switzerland because they said quiet power. He's more behind the scenes type that controls without being too loud, and that's very on key for Lemmy because he be trying to be like, "Yo, wait a minute," but it's like, nigga, you gonna have to put some bass in your chest, bro. Like you gonna have to speak up a little because
And he
nigga,
got
like,
a. I mean, I be feeling like he got a lot of energy for Scotty. You know what I'm saying? He be
and
on
that's
that.
just that's on. I don't want to say what I think it is, but like niggas would get that off on a bitch because it's like she ain't gonna bark like this is bitch, but it's like most of the people are right. Even Scotty be like she just be ignoring. I don't know. They both kind of like on each other, so I don't know. It could be because of the attraction, but who knows? But Lemmy, on the most part, I can see. Well, I would say like if you could pick a country for Lemmy, and it don't have to be any of the ones on the map. Which one would you equate him to?
I said North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Hide behind zoo security. Uh, you know, not really being brought into the drama as much as he would like to be. You see what I'm saying? That's why I would give him
They want
North
to be
Korea.
more
That's
domestic
just
than
where I
they
would
are.
go.
I get where you going there. I like that. I can see it. I can see North Korea being Lemmy. I can see North Korea being Lemmy. I can see that. Okay. All right, so the next one we got up, basically we got Gucci Mane versus Pooh Shiesty.
Pooh
Ooh,
Shiesty, that's my dog. But Pooh, you know he was really Shiesty.
they got Pooh Shiesty as Russia. I think that's quite accurate. He's been all the smoke. This nigga want every bit of the smoke. He's waiting for it. He definitely is aggressive, fearless energy. He's not asking. He's just acting. That's what he on right there. That's what Pooh Shiesty's on. That's real Russia energy. I ain't gonna lie.
But they
Gucci
gave
man,
Gucci Man China.
you got China. I don't know. They said China because they say he built an empire. He's strategic long term and he's quiet influence. And they say, he already owns the infrastructure. So they was comparing it to China, how he basically has built an empire low key. It's like been long term though. I mean, it's a 1017 is a low key empire if you're thinking about it. Like I haven't gonna
In
lie,
the south, in the south, in the south.
but yeah, I never really acknowledged 1017 that much until really hearing more about the Puchaisi situation and realizing the history of artists that went through the camp over there. But I don't know. Would you say China is that accurate for Gucci? What you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, I be feeling like after the verses with him and Jeezy, I thought Gucci's with the shits. I would have gave Gucci Russia, but after this situation and like and the way things are coming out,
Very
it's just,
diplomatic, like China. I see what they did there. He's very
yeah,
diplomatic.
yeah. So
See what they did. All right, they got Offset versus Little TJ. Ouch.
yeah,
Crazy about a day, boy.
yeah,
Oof.
that was crazy. When somebody was actually injured in this situation.
Shot. New York. Yeah. That was in California. Where was that at?
No, I was in Florida at the Hard Rock
The casino.
Casino. 6ix9ine did a little bit of trolling. He drove by there, and fucking showing that he was in the area. I mean, I swear, like I don't know where his energy is, bro. But he's cruising for a bruising.
Well, they got Offset for yeah. They got Offset as UK. Basically because he has a legacy, more of a history. He's still relevant. And he's not always leading in the fight, but he's always present. So they were like, he's UK. I don't know how I feel about this. UK is very um they're very they're very
Diplomatic.
they're in the mix, but they not really the strongest muscle. Like and we ain't nobody scared of the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like we know they there, we know they got shit, but ain't nobody really ducking the UK. But I guess the UK does. I guess it fits. I guess they got little TJ as Ukraine. I don't.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, now here. Well, I mean, there's like
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
how to
fight.
feel
It's.
this.
I mean, like yo, it's a lot of fight in little TJ. I mean, they may be referring to the little in his name with putting him with a smaller country, but at the
Mhm.
same time, he has a lot of fight in him. You know what I mean? He and one of the only rappers I know got shot more than 50 Cent and
You know,
still kicking.
they're comparing him to Ukraine because they're saying he's been through real situations. He's actually earned sympathy and respect, and he's young and resilient. It seems like the traits that they're giving Ukraine don't feel realistic, but this is very much Chat GPT, so they're gonna always sway it based on the political scope of the world, right?
I
I
think
would
some of the ain't the servers over there for Chat GPT? Is it somewhere in the
I would change this whole map around. If I was making this map, I would have made Pusheisty. I would have made him Somalia because that nigga's like a pirate. That nigga's
Oh
trying to,
gosh.
yeah. That nigga's he's going for his. I would have definitely made um Little TJ, I would have had to play on the whole like I don't know, like hmm, with Gucci Man and all that. Like I feel like there's something with Iran and Israel with that. Like I feel like Little TJ might be like I think with the Gucci Man thing, Pooh Shiesty could also be Israel, where he's like he tried to take out Gucci Man, who's Iran, but then this nigga's still here. Like fuck, Israel had a harder time and they thought getting rid of Iran. You know, like I would have definitely played with that a little bit if I was making this map. But this is what ChatGPT chose, I guess. I don't know. You are hilarious. This was your submission.
Which one?
We got we got Hassan Campbell versus African Bambata.
Yeah, man. Yo, man, trolling people. You talk about that number one troll right here. This guy Hassan Campbell. Yeah, but at the same, he had us thinking he was about to give a heartfelt rest in peace,
Is it a
and he
troll?
just
He's a victim.
Super hot fire. You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Yesterday I put ketchup over all my fries. Today I dipped them.
no, but I mean, like the setup was a heartfelt rest in peace, and then it was it was just to grab you, like, just to pull you in, they hit you with that uppercut because he definitely was like the greatest PDF of all times. And that was like the ultimate, like like the either the sidestep you want to call that, or the sham guard. Remember the sham guard back in the day? Because he caught everybody with that. Everybody thought he was about to give it up for Ben Bada at the end.
I didn't think that. I didn't think that. Like, this man is so thirsty for attention and clout. Like he wasn't gonna miss any opportunity to like use that moment to seal his point. And I mean, whether he was really a victim or not, I'm not gonna make fun of that. But at the end of the day,
I don't think nobody like he gotta be a victim because I don't think nobody would make up something like that and run with that. Like
nah, that's
seriously,
real bold
as a grown man,
to make
and
as a
for a
grown
grown man, as a
Yeah.
grown man, like I don't
I couldn't play around
think,
with no joke
you know
like
what I mean?
this.
Like
No
I'm
clout.
just, it doesn't sit right with me. Like that's the only reason why you know what happened, because it's not like, all right, Daylight for battle rap, he used to play around like that. Like he used to say shit about Diddy, and what I mean, like say weird shit, but you know what I mean, like you could tell it was coming from a place of what I mean, like making content, making jokes and just trying to for shock value. Like this is a story that this man has been running with for decades. Like he's not backing down, even in the man's death. So
Well, ChatGPT has Hassan Campbell as North Korea. Now this is not our words. So if Hassan Campbell has anything to say, the beef is with ChatGPT. It's not with us. Right?
I
Unless
ain't saying nothing for none of you niggas. Word to my mother. Word to my mother. Oh
Hassan
man.
Campbell will still find something wrong with this, but either way, Hassan Campbell, they got him down.
He gonna be sitting there with us like this. He gonna be holding the camera like this. He gonna have us on both sides. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? I made sure I had my rolls out too, so he could call me fat too. Shit, fuck that, yo. Here's my damn day.
Yo, can we get to the side? All right, for real. All right, they got Hassan Campbell as North Korea. Why? they said because he's loud, he he divides his opinion, and it's a strong narrative. They were like, Hassan is North Korea because he has strong speeches, and people are still unsure about what's real. So, oh, okay, all right. So they said he's North Korea because he's mad loud. They said that that people are divided on opinions about him, and basically, it's just a strong narrative. So they're saying that it's a good, strong story, but people are really just like jaded on whether or not they believe it. And basically, he has strong speeches and people are just still unsure if it's real or not. So that's why they're saying he's
I,
like,
you know what I mean? Like, cause I mean, like, some of the stuff he says is needed to be said. It's just his delivery sometimes be way out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And it just like it takes away from his initial, like from his initial statement or what he's trying to represent. Because like he'll literally say some deep shit and then be like, hit him in the head with all right, come on now, you lost me. Now you got me laughing, or now you know what I mean? Like you wild and you talk about an old man or whatever. Like so he always loses me like that, but you know,
all right.
okay.
Now, ChatGPT also has African Bambata as the United Kingdom. Um, Now, how do they have African Bambata as United Kingdom on here?
I don't see Ben Bada on my screen.
Yeah, I see Offset. I don't see Bambata on this
Yeah, I don't see Ben Bada on my screen.
one.
Oh well, maybe they knew not to play with the dead. We're gonna leave it down. But who you said they gave him? The UK?
They gave uh they gave African Bambata the old United Kingdom. They said that he built the foundation for culture. He has a huge historical impact, but complicated legacy. So they're like he's like the old empire, built
Complicated.
everything, but his history has layers to it. Basically saying there's a lot of history that we know about. There's some history
Yo,
we don't know.
how chat GBT know about Hassan Campbell getting fiddle diddle? How they know? Because what other things you got taking his legacy besides
African
stuff like
Bambaataa.
that? Yeah, stuff like that. I'm talking about that kind of stuff.
It's a complicated legacy because, like, yo, hip hop has not revered this nigga for a reason, bro. African Bambaataa gets love, but is very quiet love, and I think that's why. I think there had to have been something going on because the way that African Bambaataa isn't kind of like it's like they give him the foundational respect of being the pioneer, but they don't really give him too much praise because they know he probably did some nasty shit. If it's true, because I mean, at this point, I don't know.
Back in the day, I don't know. I had a jaded perception on those guys, yo. I thought Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation was like the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington, where he just went like this and they all turned.
Yeah.
That's how I thought it was. And
I'm not
then
sure how much stock I could put in this. Like, it's just like the conversation is not something I can speak on because I don't have enough detail. I won't lie. Like, if I had more information, I probably could say more, but I can't really say anything in support or to defend. I don't really know what's true in the story. So this is gonna be one of those. It's gonna be up to you to decide. The next
I
one that
mean,
has
has he? But also though, did he ever come out to deny those claims?
I don't know. Let's see.
Going to the chat GBT again, always.
Nah,
Unbelievable.
I was looking on Google.
Because I mean, like, if somebody is going around actively saying,
In April, it says in April. It says in April and May of 2016, Pioneer African Bambaataa publicly and vehemently denied allegations that he sexually abused several, holy moly, men, including Ronald Savage, Hassan Campbell, when they were minors in the 1980s.
Hmm.
But excuse me, Bambaataa referred to the claim as baseless and cowardly attempts to tarnish his legacy. He said, "I never abused anybody," in this article in 2016 with Fox News.
Yeah,
He
that's
said,
10
"I
years.
never abused anybody. You know, this sounds crazy for people to say. You abused me." Denial of specific claim regarding Ronald Savage, who claims he was abused at the age of 15. Bambaataa said, "I ain't touched this brother who whatsoever," and stated he was never alone with him. Claims of a hidden agenda. But he said Bambaataa suggests that the allegations were part of a shakeup or a hidden agenda aimed at his position in the Universal Zulu Nation.
How much
Responses.
money they got over there?
I didn't know
They
there was
must
an.
be rolling in the dough
I didn't know.
because he was fighting that good fight for 10 years. He said 2016. It's 2026. Hassan Campbell been standing on him getting,
Well,
Amadou Diallo for 10 years.
so they said there was some reconciliation here. They said the aftermath. Ronald Savage, who was the other accuser, they're saying that he initially led the allegations and later recanted his accusation in 2024, stating Bambaataa is not a pedophile and that his past interactions with him were not seen as abusive in his eyes at the time. In 2025, a
They
default
got
judgment,
to. They got to.
despite earlier denials, a lawsuit from a different unnamed accuser alleging abuse between 1991 and 1995 resulted in a default judgment against Bambaataa in May of 2025 as he failed to appear to defend himself in a civil matter. What? Man, I don't know what to say, bro. There's a lot to unpack there. So apparently, he does have a successful suit that happened in 2025 because he failed to appear in court to defend himself. But it could be because he was sick, because apparently the man just died. So who knows what he was facing, what ailments he was dealing with. I just feel like I don't know. I find it weird that the family or his estate didn't have any kind of like uh motion to get a lawyer to at least defend him in this matter. Like I feel like that I don't know who's holding down his legacy. Sometimes when these rappers and these artists get old, you don't know who's really protecting their estate. So I don't know. I don't know. Moving on, that was an interesting tidbit. Burna Boy versus DJ Tunes. I don't know nothing about this one. You're gonna have to put me on. What happened with DJ Tunes and Burna?
I don't know. So I don't know. It seems like DJ Tunes was working with Burna Boy at one point, and
Mhm.
like we know Burna Boy over here in the States because he's like chopping up the Afro beat sound. And it seemed like it's another guy, Kid, who is another big artist over there.
Mhm.
It seems
Mhm.
like Tunes has been working with Kid more than he was working with Burna Boy. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. They were saying there was a conversation of who was the pioneer for their their genre of music and where they come from, and I think it had to do with the Kid and Burner Boy situation, and Burner didn't like the talks that was going on, and I think he approached Tunes, who was out at a club.
Are they trying
You
to
know,
they really, like put Afro beats on the map? Is that what this is about? 'Cause that sounds like a big
yeah,
right there. That's actually a big conversation. Who put
yeah.
Afro
I remember.
on that? Ooh, that's a deep one. The Afro beats is such a huge movement in the culture, and it's just like I listen to even a Mapianos and shit like that now, which is like just different forms of music, that have been able to get light now because of Afrobeats popularity. Like I listen to Amale. There's a lot of artists right now that are blowing up. Thames. is another artist that really got a lot of shine because this rise in popularity. So I think the generation that we're seeing now, it's funny we just came off the African Bambaataa talk because I never thought about who the forefathers of Afrobeats would be considered or revered as. We're in the middle of a generational boom right now, and that's actually a very interesting conversation to have.
And I think they were just talking about like who, like in their era, is like the pioneer for who, and they don't like who, like I think Burna Boy was showing that he was, you know, popular and doing it in 2016 to a sold out crowd, like a stadium type crowd. And there's been talks back and forth. There's Kid and um, I guess Toombs had picked a side. So when Burna Boy seen him, I guess he wanted to confront him or say something to him about it. And the entourage has gotten involved. And, you know,
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny because I was looking up some information. They were saying Afrobeats originated from like 1960s, 1970s by an artist named Fela Kuti, and
mhm.
it's fascinating to me because it's like I don't know what the root of.
It's that sound that they're claiming. That you hear it when you go to the bars. It's just the instrumental playing sometimes. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun. Like it's all it's
that's how
I mean,
Afrobeat sounds. That's how Afrobeat sounds to you, Jay.
like the make me swear, make me hot. That like the beat putting in the background of that shit. It's like you hear the maracas, you hear the
So they're saying that, dang, this is a very recent beef. So they were like the rivalry between Burna Boy and Wizkid. Just to culminate, just to summarize this, right? Before we go into the countries, they're saying that it escalated because of an altercation involving DJ Tunes. I didn't know there was an altercation, resulting in online spats and public tensions. While Wizkid is hailed from pioneering global Afrobeats crossover, Burna Boy is noted for his consistent global dominance and Grammy success, representing a debate on artistic depth versus cultural influence. Ooh, that's a great question. Because, like, you know what?
Mhm.
It does, you
So
know,
it's like I said. So it is what I said, like with the Afro beats, but it's like they're well, like I said, they're what they bring to it, that crossover of bringing it to America. Who's like the like who everybody you if you bring that argument right now, Burner Boy would win that argument because he's the most known in America from that era. So I don't think that's something they should have. Yes, you can argue that Kid and a couple of other artists are are pioneers, but you would have to give it a Mount Rushmore as opposed of like putting it at one person being the only forefront. That's how I
it,
feel like most of these things need to be looked at.
it does, though. And you know what, though? Shit. That's why, like, lines like Jay-Z saying, like, there doesn't need to be beef in music. Like, I think for moments like this, there needs to be a real conversation at hand because, again, we're dealing with the pioneer of a generation, and we're also dealing with history, right? And making a lot of it's funny because, like, common theme for this year with the show is basically like how history is being altered in real time. And as we speak about that, we're looking at these young men who are really just pioneering, like they are really taking this to a global level. um One of the things that I did notice when I was looking at it, and one thing before I go in, I just want to shout out some Afrobeats artists that probably should get some love while we're here again. If you don't mind me saying, just a few artists: Omale, OMAHLAY. If y'all looking for some dope Afrobeat artists to listen to outside of these two young men, amazing. We all know Davido. Davido's up there at this time. Um, of course, uh, Spinal. Um,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
man, oof, Rima. Um, I know we're talking about Kid right now, but yeah, I'm not gonna go into too many more. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's funny because I have DJ Tunes in my playlist. That's so crazy. All right, so you know, Darko, Rima. There's a lot of artists right now that are definitely just amazing artists. I thought in the Afrobeats culture, but just to summarize, like it looks like both artists have massive global impact. It basically at this time, Burna Boy holds about 10 Grammys. Wizkid has about 4 Grammys. Um, with about 17.5 certified RIAA certified units compared to like Burna Boy's 2.5. So it's like WizKid is selling more records based on the numbers. Burna Boy's numbers aren't the same streaming wise as well. WizKid is leading the streams. It looks like WizKid's numbers are widely higher overall than Burna Boy's. However, Burna Boy is recognized a lot more, and I feel like that might be where the rift is. Because imagine if you're really putting the numbers in, right? And you're really just like helping this genre shift. Because I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I don't want to pick a side in this, but if I have to be honest, I think that for me, I noticed the whole Afrobeat surge when Drake started collaborating with Wizkid. Songs like "Come Over," you know, like there were songs where I remember Wizkid and Drake, and then I just started seeing a boom of like this Afro. Dang, why is it freezing? Wizkid and Drake, and I just remember seeing this Afrobeats boom after that. So it's just like for Drake to even feel the need to collaborate with Wizkid says a lot because Drake is always on an early wave when it comes to scouting some people like the Migos, Yachty. Like he's always been a little bit ahead of the curve as far as like catching the waves. And when it came to this Afrobeats wave, it seemed like Wizkid was the one that he reached for. I think for a good reason. So this does raise a good question because sometimes the industry will push who they want even though there's somebody else that's way more talented. But it's just like the push versus natural love for an artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question.
Sound like you picked your side.
I didn't even expect us to go this far into this Afrobeats conversation, but it ended up way more interesting than I thought. So here's what we got. This is interesting. They got Burna Boy versus DJ Tunes, which is what this really was about. Burna Boy, we got Burna Boy. ChatGPT has him as Nigeria, basically because he's a cultural powerhouse. He has global influence and he has pride and identity. Basically, Burna Boy being Nigeria because he's loud in the culture and he has the global reach. Compared to DJ Tunes, who is more like in this case like the United Emirates, like Dubai. He's connected to the people. He's got a very luxurious vibe. He brings different worlds together, but he's not quite the loudest in the room compared to who he's dealing with at this point. But he connects everything for sure. He's definitely the one connecting the dots. Like
if there wasn't an altercation, I think we would have put WizKid in that position right there for the World
absolutely.
War. But for the sake of context,
because there's a lot of plausible deniability with how far this beef really is. That's why I guess they're leaving it that.
But I mean, like somebody was assaulted. It was a brawl.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, there was a brawl.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, but that was more like the DJ tunes more or less than Wizkid in that brawl.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got Jada Cheese versus. I'm sorry, Jada. Am I saying her name right? Jada. Well, we got Jada versus Emily Huff. Jada Waiter.
Jada. Oh, you meant to say Chavez.
Chavez. Is that Jada Chavez? Well, like Jada Waiter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They apparently there's a rift between Jada and her former friend Emily Huff, and something has to do with the baby. I don't know.
Is it the baby or Lil Baby? Because there's a lot of babies.
Lil Baby. Sorry. Yeah. babies.
Yeah, it's a lot of babies. You can get confused. Some of them are little. Some of them.
Babies.
Yeah. That one was that ended out in a knockdown brawl as well in the club with
I don't know if that was it. I don't know if that was Emily Huff in the club, but I do know
yeah, that was it was because they were saying that they said I was Des.
they said Des Dior was there helping Jada Waiter in the night with
Yeah.
that club fight, but I don't believe I
Uh-huh.
saw Huff's name on the reports as far as being there in those brawls.
Oh, that's what it
I,
looked like. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I think Jada, I think it looked like she was getting yoked up by a security guard or something, or trying no, the security guard was trying to get her off. She was getting choked by like 10 people though. I was like, what is going on?
And Baddies
The
got the
girls
bitches.
is worse than yeah.
Yeah, Baddies got the bitches acting horrible. I ain't gonna lie. I have a venue that I manage that I own throughout the summer, and when I tell you, when I see some of these events, it be the bitches acting up worse than the niggas. The niggas be well behaved. It's the bitches. Baddies got y'all acting weird. Y'all gotta chill. Gotta chill.
Yeah, they think they can just say what they want to people and then be ready, and then they
Doing
don't be
what they
ready to
want.
swing.
They just doing what they want. Let me stop. Well, ChatGPT has Jada Waiter as France, apparently because she's beautiful, she's very influential, and she's very aesthetic. She's a trendsetter, you know. Everything is style and influence for her. Emily Huff, they got her like Canada. Why? Because she's more chill, right? She's low key, but she's present, and she's not as flashy. You know, Emily's Canada. She's cool, but just not running the show. She out here though. She outside. So they got her as Canada. Uh, I don't know if I would move these girls because I don't really think I have enough information to say about these women. I just feel like ChatGPT knows more than me about this. I'm gonna let them rock. We got finesse.
Well, but did you hit? But they said that I don't know if I touched on this, but they said Emily slept with the baby behind her back, and they were supposedly best friends.
Ooh, that's dirty. That's very
So like
Canada
you know,
backdoor like that.
back
That's
door. That's a backdoor type situation, you know.
Canada of her. Very Canada of her. That's crazy. All right. Well,
Like she has guys and she has guys.
I'm mad that ChatGPT is definitely dyslexic because now that I'm looking at this map, I crack it up because they got Canada under Mexico. In what world, Canada? In what world, ChatGPT? What are you doing?
I think
This
they
is
just didn't want to put Natalie Nunn down. That's all.
this
As
is
I'm
what
looking at it, they wanted Natalie Nunn at the top. That's all. She
Mexico
got
above
steak.
Canada.
She got steak in that over
This is
there somewhere.
wild. You see where they got? They got North Korea and Africa. This is just weird. They just doing anything now.
North Korea is most definitely
They
not in
really
Africa.
just doing anything here. This is just an interesting map. They got
Well, you
Nigeria.
want to know what? I don't think the map itself is an accurate depiction, but that's another conversation to have. But you know what I'm saying? I digress.
I digress. So we got finesse two times versus rap a lot. You know a little bit about this one, right, Jo?
Well, yeah, Finesse was saying that after that, it was a Ben 10 situation. Did you see what went on with Ben 10?
No.
You better at the little clicking and the pulling up. You want to pull it up for us real fast? We can talk about a situation happened with Ben 10 and Jay Prince, and Finesse was saying that that was part of the reason why he was saying he wanted out of his contract. That he wanted to distance himself from Rap a Lot, but it's not that easy. When they got you on the contract, he wanted to buy himself out of his contract, and that wasn't happening. And that's what started a lot of the back and forth online, but not him directly with Rap a Lot. I guess the people around them, because they got a loyal following out
All right, I
there
see here.
in the
So it
South.
says I found it here. It says early 2026, a situation between Finesse two times and Rap a Lot Records, specifically Jay Prince Jr. and Mob Ties. It's not a competition, but a public contention. Basically, a contractual dispute. Finesse two times has publicly expressed a desire to leave his contract with Rap A Lot Mob Ties, describing it as a bad deal and feeling trapped. Here's the breakdown of the situation. So it says Finesse is seeking an immediate release from his contract, stating he wants to be free and to own his future work. Frustration because he's publicly complained about this lack of project releases, feeling underpaid, and not having enough control over his career. The goal basically is that he stated he wants to leave to pursue a lucrative opportunity worth $10 to $20 million. Basically, he's got a deal waiting for him on the table if he can get out of his deal, and they're the ones who will block it. And they're not going to block it. What I'm going to see happen here is almost like what I saw happen with, I believe, Little Uzi and Rock Nation, where Drama, who once signed Uzi, basically signed him over to Rock Nation, and now he owns a percent of that publishing, I believe. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get out of the deal eventually. Because I mean, we all saw what happened with Gucci Man. I don't think that anyone's gonna be dumb enough to repeat that scenario right now. So I believe they're gonna probably reach a deal for whoever's got money on the table for Finesse. But he's not gonna be able to just dance out of this deal. He's gonna be connected to these people through his deal. I mean, it just is what it is. I know we talked about this before. It's not what you're worth; it's what you agree to. Right.
Yep.
So at this time, ChatGPT has Finesse two times as Mexico. That's fucking funny. They say because
Blackout good time. Oh no, what did they say? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Nah, that was funny. They got him as Mexico because he's got hustler energy. He survived some real situations and he's still active in the streets. That's why they gave it to him. ChatGPT, what do you know about
Mexico is definitely active in the streets. Like you may look at them with the small size and stature, but they are very. Some of them are very militant. Some are very militant. I'll tell you.
Real motion, real hustle. They say. Rap A Lot Records. They said they're more like Saudi Arabia. They got old money, deep roots, industry power. They said they've been rich and they've been powerful. And Finesse has been known. Sorry.
And then we don't speak on the boogeyman.
No. So here we got honorable mention. I don't know what ChatGPT did here. This was a mess, but I'll try. They said 50 Cent equals the U.S. military. I can see where they get that from. Very strategic, petty but calculated, and always finds a way to win. 50 Cent is like the U.S. military. He don't fight fair. He fights to win. Mm-hmm. These are our honorable mentions, right?
No, I mean, like, seriously, I'm not going. Like, I have won some meme wars in my day, and I got the scars to prove it. But I do not want to go into a meme battle and or war with 50 Cent. Nope. He brings petty to a new level, and he has a unlimited resources at his disposal. Mm-hmm. So it's not somebody who you should have time because, going into the next honorable mention current beef, it's the T.I. and Harris family. And I want to say that battle in Normandy was won by the Harris family. It was. But the war, we said this is war we're talking about here. This isn't won in a day. This is war. This man has mentioned or found ways or loopholes so he doesn't get sued to mention the family's business in the upcoming release of the new season of his power. So, we all love the intros.
How do you fight a man with a whole network like this, man?
Undisposable
Like,
amount of fucking power. Like he has like, oh, okay. You think he all right, yeah, say that, you say that, you say that, you say that, and he's just grouping it up. Give it to me. Feed it to me down the conveyor belt so I can look at each thing because I'm recalling all of this. And that's what he does.
like
That's
these
why I
are
said I
the
don't want to
like
go.
imagine this nigga being your op. Like Diddy's in jail watching this nigga do documentaries on Netflix about him. Like hilarious. I would be so mad if I'm here watching my op go on the number one network to sit here and do docs about me. Like you got me fucked up.
If
You know
you
what?
Yo, have you ever seen Revolver? The movie Revolver?
No.
That's a good one. That's another good one. You know, after that, you see Diddy sent 50 Cent some flowers, right?
Yeah.
That's some real casino Goodfellas type shit.
I know what that was. Let me
That's
see.
a real that's some real Goodfellas type
Like,
shit right there. That's some real casino Joe Pesci type shit right there.
he's not
You
in a
know what
position.
I'm saying?
He can't Tupac 50 right now. I don't think that's happening. Anyway, they got T.I. and the Tiny Harris family. They compared them to like a civil war, like internal politics. Like they all came in there with their different generals. Like they all came with a different front to attack. They compared to Let's Rap About It crew with Jim Jones, Fabulous, Mano, and Dave East to the likes of NATO, basically, where it's just like, you know, them versus one country. Like they all had to team up to face 50. It's like, you know what? We're gonna go smoke out the enemy together. Like the Avengers.
And what did he do? He EMP'd them. He
Hmm.
cut the lights out when that happened. Man, leave that man alone. I think
So
he bought the building from the goddamn owner or some shit, or was out, took the owner of their building to the club and became part owner of that building that they're in or something. Like, yo, 50 has like, leave that man alone.
so
That's NASA.
there's a few questions that remain, right? If we had to put all these countries in a world war right now, who would win this war? I mean, we all got
Well, Natalie Nunn would win because she got 50 Cent at her disposal, be in the U.S. military if we
yeah, because
going.
he's an honorable mention. He's not actually in this right now, right?
Oof.
He's not actually in this right now.
Damn, we not bringing the G unit.
Nah, 50 Cent's honorable mention. All right, so if I had to look at these countries, who would win the world war? I would have to give it to. They're not showing on the map right now, but we mentioned them. Rap a lot. I would
Yeah,
have to put Rap a Lot Records, who was Saudi Arabia.
yeah, for our safety. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rap a Lot Records. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if we had to compare anybody on the map, right? Natalie Nunn, Finesse Two Times, Emily Huff, Jada Waiter, Burna Boy, Offset, Lemmy.
I'm not scared of none of them.
No. Pooh Shiesty, Little TJ, DJ Tunes, Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they put the most fear in anybody on the map. I would say Rap a
Mm-hmm.
Lot.
Just a little bit of P came out when you said Rap a Lot Records, just a little bit.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Rap a Lot
Yeah.
definitely wins the war. I'm sorry we didn't put them on the map, but ChatGPT, they tried. Um, you know, honestly, if you're even on this list of people, you're blessed because these people are all making millions of dollars and they're all established artists. So even in the war at this time, there's winners and there's losers. But even the losers are kind of winners. They're all right at the end of the day. For the other artists who don't have the luxury of having an industry machine behind them, or having labels, or having tours, for those artists that are coming up off the ground, I just stumbled on something really fun, and I really thought this was interesting to bring on the show. This artist took a new spin on basically guerrilla marketing. Right now I've been noticing a real surge grassroots marketing, which is where basically people are more or less taking the more natural approach rather than the digital approach that we've been seeing hammered over the last 15 years. Right now, there's a large surge of people who just want to correct with more real uh, branding. And I've been seeing a lot more artists try to get. There we go. Froze. I've been seeing a lot more artists trying to get connected with their fans through more generic forms of marketing. So this young man, Yale, I think his name is, decided to go to the mall, and I'm gonna just play the video so you can check it out. This was really, I thought it was pretty clever. Though.
I'm about to leave. Calm down. I don't want to bully like that, my boy. Don't do that.
So he's dropping wads of money. Employees are running out to food court. People are in the food court catching the money.
Can you read that? Is the money real? That shit real, right? That shit real. Single mom, 3 kids, that's just how.
I thought that was pretty clever, honestly. For a few reasons. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to take a little bit of what you said because a little earlier you said they got more, they stepped away from the digital, but at the same time, they're mixing it because that has a QR code on it, so they have to digitally.
Well, yeah. There's no way to there's no way to market music today without having some digital aspect of it. Because at the end of the day, they need some medium to play the music. Let's be real, right? Like if you're gonna bring them to your music, the most easiest way for them to do it is on their phones. Because there's not gonna be anyone walking around with a Walkman today, CD player, or any kind of technology that this is just a marketing route though that's not digital. I would say the route of marketing this was non-digital, but it's also a hybrid of digital. I guess you could say it's a good way you pointed it out. I would say it's almost like hybrid digital, but it's more genuine focus. Like you're going into real life areas. Like Cardi B, she did a lot of groundwork promo touring this tour, this album. Like I saw her pregnant out in the streets of the Bronx, like going to bodegas and shit. Like she was really on the ground running. And when I tell you, I mean, you got to do what the biggest artists are doing and then some if you're going to try to get on. And it's like, if you're an artist who takes your career serious, then you're going to have to be ingenuitive. Stop trying to wait for the blueprint to work in your favor. Stop trying to copy the cycle. It's not that easy. You're going to have to do that and then some in order to see a return. And I think what this young man did was smart. Only reason I say this is because I used to manage artists before. I know how much the streaming services charge. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down to it, if you were to go to if you were to go to a marketing company right now, let's say you wanted to go to a digital marketing company, and you said you wanted to try to get your song some spins, right? They're gonna go to streaming farms. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is something that they've been doing. This is the whole Drake issue with UMG. The streaming farms industry has been thriving for the last, I want to say 5 to 8 years, but now it's coming to a halt where people are starting to, catch on. However, most of these companies will probably charge you somewhere between $4,000, maybe $5,000 just to get a bunch of bot ad streams on Spotify, on Apple Music, and you're only going to get probably like a good 100,000 streams, right? But those are bots. Those are people who will never come back again. Those are people who are never going to return streams. They're never going to cycle back. However, this young man, Yali, what he did, all right, he only spent about $1,500 in cash, dropped it in the mall. Now, even though it's not 100,000 streams, hear me out. I guarantee the effectiveness of him letting people get actual tangible money with his QR code, like you said, if he's able to spend that same $4,000 he could probably recoup at least a quarter of those people, which would be at least, I want to say, 1,000 listeners, right? But those
Mm-hmm.
1,000 listeners are probably going to be continuous fans of yours. They could come back every month for 10 months and give you that same 10,000 plays, that same 100,000 plays. And it's more effective because they're not going to just, you're not just getting bots, you're getting real possible followers because you did something that left an impact on someone. I think that's something that people have to think about in marketing today in 2026. It's not the same world that we were used to in 2020. It's not the same world where you can just go ahead and try to find a lucky hashtag and get on and get viral. It's not that easy. I think it's going to require a little bit of hybrid marketing, guerrilla marketing, like old school marketing is coming back again. And I
Yeah,
think this is a great sign.
I agree. I'm all about guerrilla marketing. I literally every day I'm walking around. I walk. I have my cards. You know what I'm saying? I got my QR code on the back that can get people. So because some people you gotta talk to them. They'll be in passing. They'll be moving real fast. They might not even want to take the card. So like they might just want to scan. So I always have some way of identifying myself. I walk on my wrist. This is the tap. You tap your phone to it. You tap your phone
Smart,
to it.
smart.
It pops
Look, time
up.
is moving.
It pops up, and then it goes directly to my Link Me. Link Me
Yeah.
is one of the greatest ways to group all of your social medias together on one page and create your own website and an established platform. So shout out to Link Me who brought me onto their team and have always showed me love and have helped me create an amazing profile and which I always am sharing with people. Shit, I don't even know. Let me check my back. I'm with the guerrilla marketing, man. You see my name everywhere in the lights. Can you see it?
That's it.
I don't play. I'm all about guerrilla marketing. I'm old school. Sometimes people see you in passing and everybody ain't as bold to walk up to you and say, yo, what's going on? Ooh, ooh. They might want to look from far. They see me give my card to somebody else. I ain't give it to them. They scared to say something. You still see my name on my back. Like I'm all
Yeah.
about guerrilla marketing.
No, you got to make sure. Look, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I think a lot of people are taking the resources that are available to them for granted. Like we are in a society that is flooded with resources, and we don't really take it for granted enough. Hold on, it's glitching again.
There we go.
All right, figure it out. This is annoying. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
2, 1. But yeah, like this guerrilla marketing stuff is really interesting. I think that you on point for thinking about that. And I think that if you're seriously trying to build your brand, you gotta be willing to challenge yourself to think out the box. You can't you can't just keep trying to repeat the same methods that people do. It's not gonna work. Like right now, people are very much about intentionality, about really organic like marketing. You want to have people not just want to feel like they're being sold to anymore. Like think about your brand for real and how people receive it. Think about how people are affected by it. And I think that at the end of the day, if you care about your brand, you're gonna have to do like this young man and invest in it. Like I love seeing images like this because nothing in life is free. Come on, man. Nothing in life is free. You're gonna have to go ahead and grab the bull by the horn sometimes. And I think we can end it there, man. This was a great episode, Jo. Thank you for pulling up again, and thank you for being a part of the pod. Thank you for being such a host. We really landed this plane. How do you feel about this episode today?
It was good. It was good. It was good. I just wanted to make sure Rap a Lot Records got their just due recognition. I wanted to check that box. I'm happy about this episode.
Like, I'm pretty sure by the time we finish editing this episode, there's gonna be more Iceman chairs courtside or some Drake beef with somebody by the time this episode airs. But you know how it goes. We'll figure it out. Till next time. Listen, y'all. Stay safe. And just remember, man, life is all about intentions. If you set the course, you will see the course. You just gotta believe in it too. You can't just wait for it. Put things in motion. You never know where it might go. Shout out to y'all, and please like, share, subscribe, and appreciate y'all for checking us out today. Peace.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yo,
Jay,
that was it. Huh?
do you want to give any advice for the day? I'm sorry, I didn't want to
No, no,
emphasize.
no. Yo, sure, no. Like, I guess, yeah. You could just say, like, make sure you invest in yourself with that. Like he was saying with that guerrilla marketing. Like, I know I pulled out a card, but I got 3 boxes full of cards. You know what I'm saying? They weren't cheap, but it was an investment because even if out of that 1,000 cards that I have here, even if only 100 people follow me, if only 50 people search my name, it adds to the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? And people, it shows that people are looking into my name regardless of what. So the algorithm sees that, and they'll push you onto more for you pages and real pages and things like that. So definitely, find different ways to market yourself, to get your content out there. You never know who may resonate with your content.
For real. All right, y'all. Till next time. Later.
Peace.